And we're back. So I've got 3 more examples I'm going to do with you because I want you to have plenty to follow. So get a shot at this problem. It says if it's not a whole number, round off to the nearest hundredths. Regular dodecagon, apothem of 30. I will give you one hint. Not even a hint, more so just a tip. If we look back at the previous problem that I did in my last video, you'll notice all the work kind of comes down at the bottom of the picture. You just need to be able to see the bottom side and the apothem and the radius. So truthfully, what I really draw when I do these, if the shape has more than 6 sides, I get tired of trying to draw it because it gets more and more difficult. I just draw the bottom 3 like this. So if I'm supposed to be drawing an 8-sided polygon, I'll just draw the bottom 3. And I'll say, there's my apothem, there's my radius, and I just say to myself, and I know the other 5 sides are there, but all my work's going to be down here. If it's a pentagon, I usually just draw one, but even for a pentagon, you could just draw this and say, here's 3 of my sides, the other 2 are there, but this is the only part of the picture I really need. So when you try this, I wouldn't waste your time trying to draw an actual dodecagon. So why don't you hit pause, try this one, and then we'll compare answers. All right, let's see how you did. So starting over here, here are the bottom 3 sides. I drew an apothem and a radius, which you always draw if you're going to use this formula. And the given information was the apothem is 30. Then you got to figure out these angles. So a dodecagon is 12 sides. So we do 12 minus 2, 10, multiply by 180 for 1800, sum of the interior angles. Because it's regular, we can divide by 12 congruent angles, get 150 degrees each. But the radius is bisecting this 150 degree angle. 75, 90, 15 left over. We were given the 30. All the work is really figuring out this side length of the bottom triangle. Once we get that, in my mind, we're kind of home free. So let's see. It's not a special right triangle, so I got to choose an acute angle. I chose the 15. Could have chosen 75. I chose 15. For that angle, I want the opposite. I know the adjacent. Opposite adjacent would be tangent. So here's my tangent equation. Tangent to 15 is opposite over adjacent. To solve for x, I multiply both sides by 30. So x came out to be 30 tangent of 15. But that's x. How long is one side? It's going to be twice as big as x. So instead of 30 tangent of 15, it would be 60 tangent of 15. That's one side of the dodecagon. But that's just one side. We want the perimeter, so I got to multiply by 12. 12 congruent sides. And if you multiply this by 12 to get the perimeter, you get 720 tangent of 15. So there's the perimeter. We were given the apothem, so we're ready to use the formula. 1/2 apothem perimeter. Half times 30 times 720 tangent of 15. That's exactly what I typed into my calculator. Nearest hundredths, the answer is 2,893.85 feet squared. So hope you did well with that, but if you didn't, that's another example you can rewatch and find your mistake, learn from that. So once you look at these last 2, they won't be as difficult. I won't tell you why until after you try them. Get a shot of those, hit that pause button, then I'll do mine out on the video. All right, regular hexagon. I'm only going to draw the bottom 3 sides. I'm getting lazy here. Radius of 20 and an apothem. So hexagon, 6 sides. 6 minus 2 times 180 is 720. Divide by 6, 120 each. But this 120 was bisected. Ooh, nice. Special right triangle. As long as I was paying attention to Muncie back in the winter, this is going to be easy. If the hypotenuse is 20, the short leg is 10. If the short leg is 10, the long leg is 10 root 3. Special right triangles, gotta love them. If this is 10, the whole side is 20. And if that's 20, the perimeter is times 6, 120. There's my apothem, there's my perimeter. Area is 1/2 apothem perimeter. So I guess that's going to be 600 root 3 if I was doing exact answers. But I believe it said round off to the nearest hundredths. So 1039.23. 1039.23 yards squared. So there's that one. Last one, a square with a radius of 10. I'm going to show you something on this one, a nice time saver. Radius is 10. So what I'm guessing most of you did if you tried it was you drew the radius in the apothem. You recognize the right angle bisected. It's going to make a 45, 45, 90. How do we go from hypotenuse to leg on a 45, 45, 90? We divide by root 2. No square roots in the denominator, so we do the cleanup move that we learned back in the winter. So I get a numerator of 10 root 2, a denominator of 2, 5 root 2 for each leg of the special right triangle. So there's the apothem, 5 root 2. This is also 5 root 2. I know I'm going fast, but you've got a rewind button and a pause button. So the bottom side here is double this, because the apothem bisects the side. 10 root 2, which means the perimeter times 4 is 40 root 2. I'm going to show you 3 ways to get this answer now. If I do half AP, it would be half 5 root 2, 40 root 2. And you should be able to do this in your head. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 40 is 400. And 400 times half is 200. Yes, you can type it all in your calculator, but you can also do a little bit of mental math there. Those numbers were pretty nice. Answer 200 centimeters squared. But I didn't say you had to use this new formula here. How else could we have done this? How about side squared? We also could have said area is 10 root 2 times 10 root 2. You can do that in your head. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. 10 times 10 is 100. 2 times 100 is 200 centimeters squared. And here's one I'm guessing nobody thought of, because there's no reason you probably weren't just practicing this. But remember, a square is a rhombus. It has 4 congruent sides. A few videos ago, we derived a rhombus formula. If you want to challenge yourself, hit the pause button. What was that formula? And how would it have made this problem ultra easy? The area of any rhombus is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. And this is a rhombus. Well, if every radius has to be congruent, then how long is that diagonal? Using the given number, that 10 was the only thing that was given, we see each diagonal is 20. And what's 1/2 of 20 times 20? 200 centimeters squared. So sometimes you've got options. Use the best one. Have fun.